let's say, first of all, consistency is a must. You have to have professional photography. You have to have professional approach, and you have to hire professionals to do it. You cannot run around with your camera, even if your camera is $12,000. I don't care.
Hello, Lab Coat community, and happy almost holiday time. Got the tree on in the background, the fire burning. We're ready to have a fireside chat with Lucy Edwards. We're going to talk about intelligent marketing strategies for every property. Really excited to hear about that, but it's going to be much deeper than that, folks. We're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about branding, and welcome aboard here, Lucy Edwards. Where are we going to go with this first? I know you got a lot to cover. Where do you want to jump in?
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. I'm very excited to be here. You have an amazing podcast program here, so I'm just super excited to be part of it, and just wanted to talk about brand and reputation to begin with. Intelligent marketing strategy is extremely important. However, in order for you to get there, you have to have branding and you have your reputation in place for you to be invited to a listing presentation. And I would like to just a few words about myself and how I built my reputation. My husband and I, we started our company about 20 years ago, and it's just a funny story that we are from New York area. Not originally. Originally, I came from Leningrad, which is now St. Petersburg, which is really a joke because it is Leningrad. And when we were traveling here in New York, we came across an amazing lake, Tanana Lake. And we saw a beautiful, but kind of run down Victorian. And we thought, why don't we build and open our own business, and we will have bed and breakfast. And I do have a lot of energy. So in the long run, thank God it didn't work out, because I would not be able to sit there all winter long all by myself and do nothing. But it did give us a great opportunity, that project. We purchased inexpensive floor plan software, learned how to use it, created a floor plan of Victorian, created another one, how we're going to convert it to bed and breakfast. Peter took amazing photos of the area. You can't go wrong with Tanana Lake. It's upstate New York in the fall. It's just stunning. And we put together a business plan that we took to zoning committee, and thank God they said no, because we had to have a signature of every single person on that lake. However, actually one of the leading companies in Manhattan saw our floor plan, and they said, we love how you put everything together. Your floor plan is so different. We would like for you to do our floor plans. So we did that. And we start working in a city, and actually the word of mouth, we got really great clientele. And then we took our floor plans outside in New Jersey. We actually worked for a few months complimentary, and the agents were paying us when they closed. And if you don't close, you don't pay. But we built our name, and because we were the only company offering floor plans outside of the city, we were in great demand, and we were growing like crazy. So we had this innovative approach to everything. We wanted to be the best and the first. And we worked very hard. That's your little immigrant story here. We worked very hard in creating something completely different. And then we were the first one to put together, now they're obviously much more sophisticated, interactive floor plan, where you have the combination of the floor plan and the photos. So back in 2003, 2004, it was very innovative. And before drones were really available for everyone to use, my husband, who was a scientist in his previous life, he put together, and he actually purchased different material and equipment from all over the world, from Holland, from Canada. Something was just custom made, and we had a 75-foot tripod with the camera on top, and like a Nintendo game. And everyone loved us, like in the Hamptons or in New Jersey Shore. So we built reputation of quality, of something exciting and new that we could offer, and we could separate agents from other agents because of our products and services. So the reputation was so important. And it is also important to understand what your clients want. And I learned that many years ago, that if you want to be successful, you have to pretend to be on another side and to be your client, to understand exactly what is needed. And that's what we were offering. We were listening, we were creating new directions. We were the only company in New York area actually who could say we are A to Z marketing company. We did floor plans, we did photos, we did virtual tours, we did elevated photography, and then we introduced brochures with really great copywriting. So that is the reputation that we built. And actually we were bringing that reputation from year to year, from region to region. And 2 years ago, we had an offer from VHT Studios, the largest nationwide marketing company located in Illinois, but cover basically, I think, like 49 states for sure. And they bought us out. So here we go. And the reason they knew about us is through our clients. We had some mutual clients. And a lot of our mutual clients were telling them, you got to get that company on board. They are awesome. They're fabulous. They are ahead of the game, because we had that reputation. But we worked very hard. I was always available for my agents. My agents are my friends. They still are. And now, though I'm not in sales, I am director of client success. And I have a totally different role at VHT Studios. I kind of miss it. And actually, we just came to triple play in New York. It's New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. And I saw so many clients of mine. I was just ready to cry. So, but happy tears. So it was really good.
Let's dive into the meat here, because I really want to know. And you and I were talking a little bit earlier, Lucy, about. I come from the agent perspective, right? So I am a producing agent here in Washington, D.C., run a team. I feel, and correct me, I know you're going to guide me here. Everything is available. It's really hard. I think it's hard to stand out. Everybody can get a 3D tour. Everybody can create the best property flyer if they want to do it. Like, everybody's doing the same thing, and it's relatively easy to get access to. So tell me, give me some strategies that you would think would be really, really important for properties that I'm not thinking about. That, sure, if I want to get a drone, we hire a drone. We want a 3D Matterport tour, we hire a 3D Matterport tour. We want floor plans, all things, by the way, I'm not discrediting what you've built up at all. Congratulations.
No, absolutely.
You were on the front end of most of this, which is awesome in its own right. So hats off to you. But now everybody's got access to it. Or what can I do to be different?
Well, look at it this way. You know, like this on Food TV, you have the chef's show, whatever that is, you know, Mr. Chef, how they all fighting to win the title, and they all have exactly the same ingredients. They have access to the same ingredients. How they use it, it's a different way. They have access to the same equipment, but all of them are doing it differently. For example, if you, let's say, first of all, consistency is a must. You have to have professional photography, you have to have professional approach, and you have to hire professionals to do it. You cannot run around with your camera, even if your camera is $12,000, I don't care. You cannot do it yourself, because you are a professional realtor and you were hired to sell the home or to help them, somebody buy the home. You do not do everything yourself. So that is number one. Number two, you have a strategy. So when you come in, you look at the house, you maybe think about staging. Maybe it needs a little paint. Maybe you need to spend some money and get the place cleaned up a bit. What about inspection? The inspection has to be done so there are no surprises 3 days before the closing, and you know what to expect. So that to build the expectation is very, very important. So yes, you have the same tools as everybody else. Anyone can order the inspection and anyone can paint the walls, but not everyone is investing their soul and their desire to be part of that client and to help the client, to assist the client to think the right way and to convince the client. Not every customer, not every seller is going to say, I am going to do whatever you say. They will fight you. So you have to have a strategy to convince them. As an example, my girlfriend was selling her house on Staten Island. And when my husband and I came to just give her a suggestion, and we said, you really have to get rid of that art. That art is not for everybody. It's very distracting. People will be looking at it, they will be judging you, and they will not be even thinking about your house. You got to take it down. And she's just like, I live here. There is no way I'm going to take my paintings down. Well, if you want to get over the asking price, you have to listen to your realtor, and your realtor is going to tell you, which exactly happened that way, you have to take that art down. It's not for everybody. To me, it was scary, though I love my girlfriend. So
Yeah.
my point is, you have the same ingredients, but you have to build the expectations with your seller, have a plan, and have a plan A, plan B, and plan C. And then you slowly convince them to listen to you and to do what they're supposed to do. And that includes from everything. It includes the staging, the moving furniture around, maybe renting some kind of storage, getting rid of the stuff, bringing some of your own ideas and put something on the wall and some pillows on the couch and bring some color to the house. And then
you guys know, I just want to share a point with you. The strategy component of it. I know there's some folks that are watching right now. Imagine you go into an agent's listing in your market, and you know before you go in that the property is going to be nice. Well, we do in our market, and we like to think all of our properties are that way. It's because the agent has a good strategy. It's because the agent has a good stager. It's because the agent has a good contractor lined up. So it's not that the agents just get lucky and every property they touch looks so beautiful. It's because of number two that we're talking about here, and that is the strategy. So I assume we're building the foundation here. We don't do it ourselves, and I hope no one's taking a picture with their cell phones. If you have, just don't do it again. And then number two, although cell phone cameras are getting better, I understand your point. Build the strategy. So we got the strategy. From the strategy, what's three?
So from the strategy, you take it to another level. So now you have your seller on board, the house is ready, and it's ready not just the photo shoot for the photo shoot, but also for showings and everything else. And then in your strategy, you have to consider several things. Number one, who is going to be your buyer? What products and services you will be using, because you know who the buyer is going to be. Like I will take Hoboken, New Jersey. It's a town for young people. Obviously, you should have the 3D tour or the Metapod based or something like that. Or you have a senior citizens community. You know, then probably Metapod is not the best marketing tool, because they will never understand what you are showing, or they will be struggling with it. So you have to be compassionate. You have to understand who your buyer is, and you build around it. Then take into consideration what the house is like. Maybe you are not able to paint it. Maybe you are not able to remove the 50-year-old carpet and replace it with something else. So you don't want to have a 3D tour, because you can zoom in and see all the negative parts of it. So have the walkthrough video, or have the interactive floor plan where you have your angles just the right way with the photos, where you can be very flexible what you are photographing. And then you have your black and white floor plan, where you click on the floor plan and photos come up, and you can create a story. And by the way, the story is extremely important. Every house has the story, and you can tell the story through your marketing strategy. So if you have the interactive floor plan, you can sit down with your buyer in the conference room, and you can say, let's just go, or you can do it via Zoom. Let's just go through my floor plan. And then you click on the kitchen and you say, that kitchen is absolutely beautiful. It's open, it's spacious. It has huge windows. It's so bright. And you talk about it. So you are creating the story about the kitchen. And then you go to another angle and you say, and here is the kitchen from a different angle where you can see the breakfast countertop. And you know how great it is? You wake up in the morning, that countertop is big enough for 4 people. You have quick breakfast, your family's together, you're taking your kids to school, and you are creating that story. They fall in love with that kitchen and with that countertop because you're introducing it from this passionate way of how they can build their family lifestyle here. Then you go to the living room and you say, yeah, the floors are a little tired. However, we're giving you some, whatever break, and there is a $20,000 allowance for all the floor plans for you to replace. But again, look at the windows and you can see through the windows and you can see that beautiful backyard. You are basically, it's a psychological marketing tool. And what you are doing now, you are building that psychological foundation for your buyer to understand the house. Then you go to the basement and you can say, here, it's unfinished now, but it's 8-foot ceilings and you can easily have a playroom here, and on and on and on. And you can do that with every product. You can do it with 3D. Let's say the house is beautiful and you do the introduction and then you say, oh, let me just zoom into that backsplash. Oh my God, it's so amazing. Or let's just do this. And my point is that when you create that story and that environment, you have to also do your homework, because if you had never used 3D tool yourself and now you are going to do the introduction, doesn't matter how much money you spend on it. If you don't know how to use it, you are going to have such a terrible experience for your buyer and even for your seller, who would say, what in the world you are doing? You are ruining my house. You don't even know how to go from floor to floor. You are on the ceiling, look at you, and you cannot even get down. So you have to know what you are doing, and the experience has to be smooth. Talking about reputation, it's all about personal experience. It's all about what you are offering and how you build it. So doesn't matter if it's your 3D, doesn't matter if it's interactive floor plan, it doesn't matter if you have a slideshow. You need to know exactly what you just put together. You have to be proud of it. It has to be professional, and you have to know how to present it. Just like coming back to the food TV show, doesn't matter what you cook and what you prepare. If it doesn't look good, you're going to get a C. And it's the same thing with your marketing strategy. You have to present it. You are confident, you know what you are doing. You know that the tools you chose for that property are the right tools. Because just because you have a budget of $1,500 for the house, it doesn't mean you're going to win the game. You will win the game if you are using right tools for the right property at the right time of the year, or speaking of the right time of the year, if you know that listing is going to come up, but for whatever reason, your seller cannot move till March or maybe February, and right now is July, you are thinking ahead of time. So invest something extra. They will so appreciate it. Invest in taking photos ahead of time, and you have beautiful summer photos and fall photos and winter photos. So when you sell that corner lot property with absolutely fabulous maple trees, or like the house I'm in right now, it's my niece's house. She has different plants and bushes and trees that bloom like from early spring all the way to late fall, and something is always in bloom. So it's beautiful. So take advantage of something like that. That is investment in your reputation, in my opinion. You are making something extra. Yes, those photos are available for every single agent. Does every agent who knows that the house will go on the market in February are going to come in July and in September and during the beautiful snowfall in January? Not every agent will do that. And that's what separates us. It's not just the logo, and it's not a tagline, and it's not your beautiful headshot from 20 years ago. It's your reputation and your investment in every property. Am I
I
right?
caught your sarcasm there. It's not your beautiful headshot from 20 years ago. No one knows what you're talking about there. That's too funny. Everybody does that. Even 5 years, 7 years, we all age. I got more wrinkles now than I did last night, I think, anyway. So, okay. So you're more, your approach to it, if I'm hearing it correctly, is really be strategic, really be thoughtful, do things others aren't thinking about, the photos around the time of the year. Most people don't do it. Most people don't think about it. And understand who your audience is. I get it.
And don't forget, Jason, about the story. Like, for example, if you have a lovely property and a nice lot, obviously I would never recommend it if your houses are 3 feet away from each other. But if you have something decent, doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to have like the right space or right location. I would start with the drone flying around. And speaking about sarcastic, I'm from Russia, so I try not to use the word drone. Actually, in my own company, before I joined VHT, I did not have that word. I always had a joke. Putin and I decided not to use drones anymore. So I had mini aerials.
All right.
So on my menu, it was a mini aerial.
Okay.
But if you have the combination of that overhead shot, and then it flies around, it shows the lifestyle, it shows your property. It just gives you this great, awesome introduction. And then the door opens up and here is the foyer. It doesn't have to be a big one. And here you go into the living room and that flow, and you focus on details. Because if you want to have every room with the video, you might as well just get 3D, right? So this is just like, focus on that light, focus on that fireplace, on maybe custom bookshelves that are going to stay at the house.
The lifestyle, yeah.
The lifestyle, and then you say goodbye with the drone.
As I think of the phone commercials, whether it be Apple or Google or Samsung, pay attention to those commercials because they're only advertising a lifestyle. Like it's all lifestyle marketing. That's what you're suggesting.
It's emotional. You want your buyer, if they love it, they will come. As a matter of fact, just about, so we're introducing a new style at VHT, a new style video where we're focusing mostly, we don't even do bathrooms unless it's $200,000
Don't even do what? I'm sorry.
Bathrooms. We don't even, so we don't even include bathrooms in our videos because it's about the lifestyle, unless your bathroom is just like covered with gold and Leonardo da Vinci painted it many, many years ago. So it's just really about the lifestyle. So we try to focus on those details. Like here is the fireplace and you go up and here is like amazing lighting in the kitchen that like some beautiful lights are hanging, you know, right over the counter. So something like that is so attractive and it is so memorable and emotionally involved, and let the buyer be excited and come and see the real thing and see the real property. And then it's your responsibility to throw yourself against the front door and make sure they buy it. But at least marketing material will get your buyer to that property, to your listing.
Right. So the challenge is right now for folks that are watching is not everybody watching, right? Is we nationwide, we're in a market where things are going to sell. Like they're just going to sell. This kind of deep level of thinking does a couple of things in a shifted market. When the buyer, I don't know about your local markets, and I know we got some folks on there. If you have questions, throw them in the chat. But when the market does shift, that's going to be your opportunity to stand out. That's going to be your opportunity to take market share. And you're going to be able to do that. And this is what I'm going to take away from this. You're going to be able to do that by going to potential sellers and saying, look at the story I told about this last house around the corner. The reason we think this house sold is because we were able to tell a story when all the other homes were on the market for 180 days, which seems like forever to you guys, I understand. But this home sold in 2 weeks because we told a story.
And so over the asking price.
You're helping sell the house, but you're creating, to Lucy's point, you're creating your reputation, you're creating a brand, and by being thoughtful, being aware, being strategic, telling a story. All of these things might seem pretty basic, but they're actually all very thoughtful. And I appreciate the way you're describing them, Lucy. And it allows you to really capture, not just sell the home, but capture more business. Is there anything from a strategy base? Are there any tips or tricks or secrets? I love this conversation, by the way. Anything you think we should be doing that most of us aren't doing right now?
Well, be consistent. Everything you do is investment, like you just said, in your tomorrow's listing. Keep in mind that the sellers are coming to your open house and they interview you to see how you sell someone else's home before they hire you. So just the fact that your face is all over every single magazine and shopping cart, it doesn't really mean much. If I were to sell my home, I would make sure that I would interview you in action, not in my living room, in action, number one. So every time you invite someone, make sure that your marketing material is up to like date, and you are proud of it. You have to be proud, you have to be passionate and proud of it. Keep in mind that the house is not sold until your commission check is cleared, because you can have 19 offers and you will choose the first one, the best one, what you think is the best one, but it doesn't go through. And then now it's 3 months later and you are with that property and you didn't take photos at the right time of the year and you thought you sold it, but all you have just your ugly pictures. Come on, you have to be prepared to the very last moment that you are covered. That is your plan. Plan A, plan B, plan C, plan B. You do it right the first time. So if something falls apart for whatever reason, you have plan B. You already have your marketing material. And then also every time you invest in yourself and in your strategy, you will sell the property for over the asking price. I was just listening to a podcast the other day that a lot of sellers think, why should I hire someone for 5 or 6 or even 4% when there is a bidding war around me on every corner and I can do it myself? The reason they cannot do it yourself, and that's the first thing you should explain to them, and actually they can hire professional photographer and 3D, and for 1% you can put it on MLS, but that's not the reason they should be doing it. The reason they should be hiring a professional realtor is because realtor has a strategy and the plan A, B, and C, and they have a team. You have a networking team, and that is also very important, I think, to take away. You have to have a mortgage company or 2. You have to have a title company or 2. You definitely have to have a team. Like we consider ourselves, our company marketing, as a partner, because we will only recommend for you to use tools that are great for that listing. So if you hired us to do the drone, and actually it happened to me many times, and I would say, you don't need a drone. What are you going to show? You don't have the backyard. You don't have the front yard. You're right. The neighbor from the right is 3 feet from you. You can have breakfast together on Saturday. The neighbor on your left is probably 5 feet away, and his house is awful. Why would you want to have a drone? You only want to do the best. You want to spend a couple $100, spend it on something else. I have other ideas.
I like it. I like it. So we're quickly coming up on our timeline here. Sure. What anything else we want to cover in the next 60 seconds or so that we didn't get to?
No, just be passionate, love, enjoy what you do. If you wake up in the morning and you don't feel like going to work, there is a problem. Just be passionate, love, and the minute you get bored, create new projects, learn new things, go to new webinars, find out about new marketing strategies that are available, and build your own, and just be passionate and inventive and creative.
Lucy, you have a wonderful energy about you. I'd love to know what your food intake looks like and what sort of smoothies you're drinking, because you got good energy and I appreciate you. Well, thanks for sharing. And Lucy Edwards, everyone, we appreciate it, and have a great holiday season.
Thank you.
All right, take
Cheers.
care.